When there's stuff on your mind and it's feeling unclear, just hop on the mic and speak without fear. Let's air out.
And that's it. We're live.
Just like that,
We're immediately back in the podcast with a guest. If you're watching the video, you can already see it. But I don't even know the last podcast we did together.
Yeah, holy cow. Definitely last year.
I don't even know what the topic would have been. Longitude or some shit. One of those.
Something like that. We were doing deep dives.
July or August.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was telling Ethan last time we were drinking that I'm not a solo show, man. I'm a color commentator by trade. I need to bounce off other people. So we should do more podcasts. And then Ethan hit me up yesterday. I was like, we should do a podcast tomorrow. I'm like, great, because I had nothing planned for this thing. I was like,
perfect.
What am I going to do for a podcast? And here we are.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
To the notes, I guess.
To the notes. To the pre-planning of the podcast. This is why I'm here, I think. You have some ideas now. You throw them out. I respond.
Yeah, there's no topic that's been researched.
Good.
Nothing. There's
Good.
not probably going to be one long segment. But I guess...
I think we do well on that.
I guess the last podcast was all about the past three, how shitty the start of the year was. But things are turning around now. Things have gotten much better.
Yeah?
First things first, I guess, Westmount.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to going back to Westmount. I've been working this snow removal job I've been working it for a month, but I've only worked for like a week total. I just seem to work Thursdays occasionally.
That's your day of the week to work.
So yeah, it's been super boring at home, not having anything to do.
Yeah.
I feel like those German shepherds that retire from the police force, and they're just like sitting around like, fuck, I want to do
do with
something.
your life? Yeah.
I need to tackle someone. And
Yeah, you gotta go find some drugs. Yeah.
So yeah, it's giving me really nice to have a regular schedule back. And I don't know if I ever said on the last podcast, but Derek, I gave him our manager's email. He interviewed with him. Derek's got a job.
So Derek's working with you now.
Derek's coming to Westmount.
That's great. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. It's going to be easy. He's going to live with us.
Okay.
So we can just carpool together. I'm going to see a lot of Derek. Essentially 24/7. I'm going to be with Derek.
Are you seeing Derek more than you're seeing Derek now? Like, is it...
I mean, he spent lots of time in his room. So
Yeah.
it's like morning I'll see him, evening he comes down. But
Okay.
like during the day I don't see him. But
Yeah.
now it's going to be like morning I'll see him. At work I'll see him. Then back at home I'll see him again.
Can't get enough Derek.
So I can't get enough Derek.
Yeah.
So we're going to bond a lot. And our friend Will is
joining the crew. Huh? He's the last member of
he
the
was
Us.
the last piece, and I visited Westmount early January, and was like, "Hey, I got this buddy that wants to work here." Was Will? They're like, "Of course, just give him my email, send him a resume, and like, it'll be money." And then I told Will that, and Will just disappeared for a month. Just no idea what was going on. He kept saying, "I'm gonna send it in Monday. I'm gonna send it in Wednesday," and just never sent it in. But he just reached out 2 days ago.
Wow.
And said, yeah, he's been going through a time, but he's looking forward to, getting back on track on things
Cool.
and wondering if the job's still available. And I said, of course it is. And he just sent his resume finally last night, which I think if you get an interview at Westmount, if you send a resume to Westmount, you're pretty much
You're going to get hired.
Yeah. I mean, Derek's got no experience.
Right.
He got the job. Will's got landscaping experience, which is essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Lifelong golfer.
Yeah.
Was born in Mississauga the same year as our manager.
He's got a lot going for him. He's got a lot going for him, yeah.
When he gets his interview, I'm just like going to give him a spreadsheet of like what to talk about. Now. Here's all the tips. If you talk about the Patriots, he'll love you.
I'd love to see him just actually like have no tips. Just go in and see if he can somehow bomb it, you can't bomb this interview. You're a great dude. You get along with a lot of people. You have a lot in common.
Yeah.
With the people who work here, they're gonna ask you some basic interview questions, and then you bomb it. Could you imagine? And then you just don't get the job.
Yeah, I mean, Derek thought that he bombed it. He's like, I was super nervous.
Okay.
I just realized both the cats.
I was gonna ask you about that. Both the cats are in here. The door's closed. I figured he's fine. He's just searching the room for your
Can you show him to the camera? No one's ever seen Doc.
No one's seen Doc.
Oh, he's gonna be elusive.
Hey, buddy. Can I grab you? Is that cool? I'm just gonna get you. Whoa. Okay.
There he is.
Okay.
Welcome to the podcast, Doc.
I just had him on my lap.
Right up there, Doc. Up the camera.
Well, I'll raise him a little bit here. Ta-da!
Little camera shot.
He's just focused on the ground.
Rosie, can we get two cats?
Buddy?
2 cats on the podcast? Look at this time filler.
We'll take you later. Oh yeah. She seems less responsive than Doc does.
Rosie doesn't care, and it looks like they
want out. I think
like.
I can. Oh, I can do that for them. Check this out. Yeah, I can go. Hey guys, want out? There you go. Doc, you going? You're gonna take your time? You're not sure if you want to go? Yeah, it's a house, man.
Peace, Doc.
You've been there. Honestly, I don't think he knows where he is. Okay, see you guys. I kind of miss him already.
I think it was like 3 weeks ago. We went out with a couple people. Like Andrea and Roy were having dinner, and then we all went and like joined them in Uptown.
Yeah.
And I came in my room before we left, and Rosie was in my room. So I was like, shit, I gotta get Rosie out here.
Yeah.
Kicked Rosie out, and then we come back 5 hours later, and they're like, Doc was locked in your room. I was like, no shit, he must have been under the bed or something. And the only thing he really messed up, he didn't poop or pee in here, but the cactus that's over there, you can kind of see all the soil on the ground below the window. This was 3 weeks ago. I still haven't picked it up. But it's just
that's so much
soil down there. But, yeah,
what else? Hold on. What else? You also have some socks.
There's some socks down there.
An Old Stick deodorant. Old Spice deodorant stick. Sorry.
Yep.
Is that like a plushie of some sort? What's the thing face down right against the wall there?
Yeah, that is a plushie I got for Christmas. I think there's a gift card for Cineplex in there that my sister got me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So if I want to go to a little movie trip.
So 3 weeks ago, he knocked all that soil on the ground there.
Yeah, I think he like jumped up on the window.
Yeah.
Knocked it down.
Yeah.
And then that freaked him out, and they like knocked this mirror over. And then I guess he was just meowing at the door.
Poor guy.
For probably a while.
He was in torture. Yeah, that would have been torture.
But didn't shit or piss, so like I can't blame him.
He's a great cat.
Yeah,
period.
He's a
Dog
fantastic
is a great
guy.
cat. Yeah,
fantastic guy. So yeah, Will's gonna work at I'm assuming Will's gonna work at Westmount.
This is gonna be your first time living with Will in a long time.
Since third year or something.
Right.
I guess.
Do the listeners know like when we interacted with Will? When did we live with him? When did we separate?
So we met Will 2013.
2013.
He was the only other white guy on the penthouse floor.
That's right.
And he saw we had a TV. He's like, "Can I watch Leaf Game in here?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, of course. And then we just instantly connected with him.
Yeah.
He just like fit into all our vibes.
Yeah.
And then we lived with him second year on Churchill Street in this house that looked really sick when we toured it. And then we went back in when they had cleared out all their stuff, and like, this is a fucking hellhole.
Oh yeah, we got
cracked down.
Yeah.
The living room was painted black and dark red.
Yeah,
so
we got
just
bait
no
and
life
switched.
in there.
Remember the carpet?
The
carpet had like a cesspool in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like you could clearly tell the carpet used to be white because the edges of the room, the carpet was still white.
Yeah.
But then you start to go anywhere to the center of that room, and that carpet is changing color pretty quickly to just black. And like, I don't remember the color. I think they did a nice job of covering that up when we toured it, because unless within a couple of months they managed to turn that carpet into something that looks like it had been there, like in a smoker's home for decades. Yeah, we got bait and switch.
We did. They had the bar set up and they had like lights strung up.
Yeah, so they did a really good. They did a really nice job at the place. Yeah. We did not.
They got it, but then we didn't have internet the first week we lived there.
That's right.
So we were like, all right, we're gonna paint this place. We're gonna get some plants, get some lamps. We had no AC either, so I just remember very clearly us all in our underwear, front door wide open, painting the hallways because it was so hot. And then
and Will's mom, she took the time to draw in the silhouette of what would be a hockey player,
right
where the staircase was, and the railing of the staircase was essentially what his hockey stick was going to be, right? So she had done a great job of drawing that silhouette of the hockey player. It looked really nice with where the railing had lined up, and painted it. And then
second term, we go home for Christmas, come back, and our landlord just painted over all of it. After we asked him permission to paint it, we made it look so nice, and then he just
and he came in multiple times before he repainted it and saw that we had repainted it.
Yeah. And then still
just
redid it.
Hired those couple of contractors who are absolutely not licensed to do any contracting. Definitely one dude maybe had some experience with contracting, and then just had a helper who just did whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever was demanded, he just went for it. Yeah, they did not do a great job.
No, and then after that point, we're like, all right, fuck this house then. We don't care about it anymore.
Not at all.
And then it just went to hell. We had like 4 TVs set up at one point though, all of them streaming a hockey game, and then just us playing fantasy hockey.
Yeah.
Tracking every single game our players are in.
Drinking a lot of beers.
Yeah, a lot of bus rides to get 2-4s. That was good times though.
Great times.
And then we lived with Will second year. I guess third year after that.
Third year after that.
And then that was the last time we lived with Will.
Yeah, then we all sort of
2015, 16, I guess. So like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while since we actually lived together.
Yeah, so it'll be an experience. I guess Will's been living at home for the past while.
Yeah.
So I wonder, it's going to be a shift for him too, getting out of the house and like living with people your age rather than your parents.
Kind of the shift that you went through I guess in September of 2021.
Yeah, it was a great shift. It's I couldn't go back to living at home long term anymore. Just the independence you get not having to do that. Just like I can come and go as I please. The food being cooked is nice, but I already get that here.
Right, so yeah. You're living the best of both worlds.
I am living in a parent's house, but they just happen to be younger than me. So we're house hunting. If anybody in Waterloo knows any spots, hit me up.
You're looking for a place to rent?
Looking for renting for 3 people.
3 people?
So yeah, let us know. Keep us posted. So that's like I guess the big news.
Right. Yeah.
Just counting down the days till the snow's gone, we can go back and
start at Westmount.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start before them, or are you all starting at the same time?
I assume we'd all start at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see why I wouldn't, unless it's like we don't have a place yet, and Will doesn't want to come crash on an air mattress in this bedroom, and then like I would.
Which would be very unwill.
It would be very unwill. I think knowing we have a golf simulator in the garage, he would definitely be here.
Yeah, he's gonna be here.
And then he and Chris will just be locked in that garage as soon as work's done.
They're gonna get good at golf. It's gonna be sweet.
It's
gonna be awesome to see.
Will's gonna see how good Chris has gotten and be like, okay.
It's gonna be them. And then if Will starts to climb back up, Chris is gonna be motivated to get back up, and they're gonna get really good at golf.
But then me, Will, and Derek get to play golf at Westmount, and Chris does not.
I don't believe for a second that Chris is not going to join us.
He's going to figure it out.
That would be so rude to just only you 3 all the time talking about playing Westmount, and Chris just can't play.
That would kill him.
That would be awful, yeah. I'm hoping you don't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe though.
I think that's all I got on the Westmount track.
That's the Westmount track. That's the job.
That's
and
the job.
The life that follows from the job.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the future aspirations.
Yeah.
I talked about hopping on Tinder.
Yeah, right.
Last time, and that's been it's been a journey.
You're still on Tinder.
I'm on Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge now.
Whoa, so we've tripled the apps. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just casting a wide net, trying to catch anything.
Okay.
And from what I learned so far, Tinder sucks.
Okay.
Tinder's just brutal.
It's
people don't respond. There's too many people on there. I guess people are just too used to people not messaging and shit, so they kind of don't really care.
Yeah.
But I got a few Tinder matches. I was talking to one chick that I'm like, oh, we got a cool vibe, you know, kind of into the similar things, and then it just like fizzles out and disappears. But it's very weird that like you seem to go through like you get a clump of matches, you talk to them for a bit, and then they just like drop off, and you just find a brand new clump and just move on.
Yeah.
So I'm like on the 3rd set of people I'm talking to. Right now.
Okay.
And Valentine's Day, my phone was popping off. Just like I guess everyone was trying to get like a little Valentine's Day date. Everyone's on Tinder. So that was interesting for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it's an interesting experience just talking to strangers on the phone. Also feel very like judgmental on those apps too.
Okay.
Just like some people, a picture comes up, immediate left, like
done, okay.
And just like judging people, very what does it mean? Just judge someone by their looks and stuff.
Yeah, are you judging a book by its cover?
Yeah, just purely doing that. I don't really know anything about this person.
Yeah.
And just making rash, instant decisions.
Yeah, sure.
And then also talking to multiple people at once, I feel kind of weird and scummy.
Okay.
But I'm also like, I think everyone's doing that here. Cause everyone's
that's the culture on that.
If you just locked in on one person, you're probably not going to have a ton of luck.
Yeah.
Unless you really, like, Cody found his wife on there. Which so some people can do it.
Yes.
But,
yeah, it makes you confront one of the maybe sort of nasty realities of humans mating.
Yeah.
Right? Like the mating drives most of human behavior and literally the reason why we're here. And it's not nice to see it when you only get a slice of it. And Tinder is taking a slice of it. And it's taking the initial attraction judgments that you have to the extreme.
Right.
And the reality is like those sorts of judgments we're making all the time. A lot of the times though we're not thinking about them. We're not having to confront it. Mm-hmm. And that's I think maybe the experience you're having is like when you think of like, oh, I'm such a judgmental person doing this. Like, bro, you've been doing this your whole life at all times. You're just not having to confront it.
Yeah.
And Tinder just makes the entire experience just about that. Mm-hmm. So you have to confront it.
Makes sense.
But you're not on Tinder sitting there like making friends, seeing these people for like a long period, multiple times in different environments, seeing how they interact with their friends. It's a really sort of hyper artificial interaction. Yeah. And I can see how it can be very like off-putting, I think, for anyone who wants something more.
You essentially have like one day to figure out if you want to ask this person out. And just one conversation. And then even if it doesn't work out, like it could have if we met in person, but you just have to... It's just a numbers game, it feels like.
I think a lot about why people enter relationships so much. It seems like the main driver, or one of the main drivers, is people just want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like and that I guess like I don't resonate at all with that, and so that doesn't seem like to me like something I'd ever want to do. You know, like wow. But like other people make that decision all the time. So there's just something to it. Like they can't be just crazy people. But I wonder like isn't there more to the whole romance side of things than just like an initial meeting on Tinder? Like Tinder's nice because it lets you meet people pretty quickly. But I think as what you're talking about, how you get from meeting people then turning that into maybe even meeting them, there's a weird step that doesn't translate well to real life.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Hinge is by far the best one.
You found Hinge to be the best?
Yeah, the way they set it up, because you can like you post your pictures and they also give you like prompts and like questions you can answer that.
Yeah.
And then rather than just like liking the person, you like either a picture or a prompt and can add a comment to that. Okay. So like if they have like a answer to a question you like, you can then like, oh yeah, I think the same way about that. Very cool. So it's not always just like you get a lot more personal, I feel like, on it, rather than just seeing 5 pictures and like, am I attracted to this person? Okay,
yeah. I guess you add a few more variables that are easy to sift through that start to give you a bit more color, right? Yeah. Yeah. Tinder is raw as heck. It's like here's essentially like one photo. Most judgments are made off of one photo. Like most of the people, I think, even if they scroll to multiple photos, your initial judgment off of the first photo, that's pretty much what you're sticking with. Like you're very rarely gonna like know. Oh, maybe yeah. Like no way. Like if you're like a no has entered your mind, it's extremely unlikely you're gonna be like yes. Yeah. Of course, difference between guys and girls there. Like guys are gonna say yes a heck of a lot more than women. And if you look at any like Tinder date, that's all you see. Like women, they like very few men, and they pretty much all like the same men. Right. And then most men like most women, and then receive very few matches, understandably, unless you're in the small sliver of men. Right. Who get like most of the women.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. I did try and like change. Like I think previous times on Tinder, I was way more like first picture. I'm not going to the second picture. I'm just always. And now I'm like I'm gonna look through every picture. I'm gonna read bios. I think it's more important. Okay. And then I find like if I'm like scrolling through someone's pictures and like going back and forth, like I don't know, I'm like I should just match, because if they caught my attention enough to get a second look, I think it deserves giving a shot to it.
So that's a super great strategy, I think, for Tinder. And the only thing that I would say is, if you're willing to sort your Tinder experience so that it's like that, like you clearly want more from the very basic experience of the app, that the way most people use it, you want a bit more, then challenge yourself to take the further step and saying like, if I'm going to put this effort in, don't put it in on Tinder. Yeah. Like you might as well spend it's the problem. See, one of the advantages, I wouldn't say problem, of Tinder is it's so easy. Mm-hmm. We can just use it, and we just like to do things, and we generally want to do things that are easier. So we can try to accomplish a general goal that we have of like, oh, it'd be nice to talk to more people, and maybe more people find ourselves in a relationship. The very easy way to do that though is Tinder. Right. And it's also very unsatisfying. Yeah. And so if you start to work around Tinder, you're like, oh, this isn't getting me what I want. You might even find it better just like force yourself to go meet people in person on the time that you would be on Tinder. Yeah. But that's so much more difficult. Like, and I'm saying it in a position of like, well, I'm not on Tinder. Right. But I'm also not necessarily just like actively going out. Right. I don't necessarily have the same goal, but still like, yeah, maybe like consider spending the time going out and trying to like volunteer. And in the spheres that you volunteer, you'll meet like-minded people. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'm using Tinder more. I don't know if I'm going to find a relationship from it. More just like training, date training. Get how you talk to people on text. What good way to open conversations. And then if you get some dates, how do you perform on it? Because I've never had a date with a stranger before. Everyone that I've gone on a date with, that's fair. I've been friends with beforehand. So you're not doing that like initial. You're having more in-depth questions. You can already like speak on things you know with the person. Right. So I think that's like a whole other level to it. Yeah, and some people go as far to be like, the only way you're gonna improve on like really getting to talk to people is actually just like talking to people. Yeah, so like the messaging on an app is not the same as talking to someone in person, and so you might do yourself a disservice if you treat the two as the same. I know. I think they're separate skill sets. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But want to get in the habit of at least cold interacting with people. Like, yeah. 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 Absolutely. It's a good skill to have. It is. I mean, Derek's been taking me to the bar, so yeah. Which is like I'd like to see you at the bar, because like I big surprise to anybody who might be listening to this. I'm not a big bar goer. Yeah. So I've not had a lot of opportunities to see what you're like in a bar. Yeah.
When it was just Derek and I was much more reserved. Whereas if we had a bigger group, I'd be more likely to go out, talk to people, and come back. Okay, you need like the home base sort of deal. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then it's just two of us. I didn't want to leave Derek. Right. Derek's by himself, and he's just kind of sitting at the table. Yeah, you're not both two single dudes like out on whatever like you're out to get whatever you can get, and screw the other guy if you can't get some kind of thing. Yeah. No. Okay. No, I'm still in there for the good time with Derek.
Right.
And then meeting other people would be a secondary objective that does not have to be completed.
Okay.
It's just bonus XP.
Okay. Yeah. And you're getting drunk in the meantime. So
exactly.
Give me a good time.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of going with Derek, the homeless man story.
Oh.
I hadn't told Chris or you about this. So we had just finished at the first bar, Pub on King. We were deciding we were going to get like a pitcher at a couple different bars.
Nice.
Kind of just like work the strip.
Yeah.
So we got our first pitcher, and then we were leaving, and then Derek's like, I really want to go get a better vape. We'd switched from the 20 milligram per liter Salt Nick to a 12 milligram per liter because we're trying to like stave off this addiction.
So you're taking a step down in the nicotine amount. Yeah. To use less.
And honestly, doing that, I found that it's not even the nicotine content that I'm addicted to. It's just like the habit of doing it.
Right.
So like I'm having the same experience hitting 12 and 20.
Perfect.
So I'm like, I guess if I'm getting less nicotine, that's gonna do me better. But Derek was not happy with that decision. He wanted the 20. He wants the rush. He's
feeling a little buzzed. He wants that pick me up of the 20. Yeah, can't blame him.
So he's like, all right, there's a vape store, a 12-minute walk from here. We'll go for a walk. It wasn't that cold out. And I'm like, cool. We leave the bar for 2 minutes. I'm like, I gotta pee. Like immediately. I have 2 beers and I'm peeing 6 times. I don't know where all the fluid's coming from. It doesn't make any sense. No. So there's the Tim Hortons across from Ethel's that we're walking to. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop in and go pee here. So I go in, Derek goes to the counter to order something, and I like go, and the bathroom door is ajar already. So I like kind of just open it and look in, and there's a homeless man like washing his hands at the sink.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, hey brother, what's going on?" It's just a single staller though. You can just come on right in here. And I'm like, "Okay, thanks, man." So I walk into the bathroom with him. He goes, you know what? Looking at it, I don't think I flushed, but here you can watch me flush it right in front of you. And he reached over and flushed the toilet for me. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you very much. I'm like, okay, so like, do you mind if I go pee? He goes, fuck yeah, I do, man. This isn't a hockey locker room. I'm getting out of here. Pulling your pecker out, you fucking weirdo. And I'm like, how did I walk into the situation and now I'm the weird guy here? And he walks out on top.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you got socially dominated.
He just fucking turned the tables on me.
He brought you into his lair and then was like, whoa, it's still my lair. Yeah. Like, yeah, this is a single bathroom.
He invites me into the bathroom, I guess, just to hang out, not to use the bathroom. No. He was just looking for a buddy to talk to.
You're a good buddy to have, though. Like, you could have struck up a conversation with him.
I guess, hey, he wasn't into the whole, Team P.
Did you invite him on the podcast?
I did not, no. When we left the Tim Hortons, I didn't see him out there.
Damn.
So I don't know what happened to him.
I wonder where... I guess you can't really find his address.
No, it's going to be a hard man to look up.
I feel like you have like a trash man radar, though, Like, can't you just, like... Do you not have, like, a little signal that you can just connect to and find him?
I'm sure I could. Man? There's probably some calls you could learn. Like bird calls or something, how they used to communicate. But I mean, I guess if I know he's by the Tim Hortons, he's probably going to stick around that area.
It could be a good area,
A lot of people walking the streets to panhandle for.
You could take tips from him too, like how to best interact with the world.
That's
like
true.
Kind of as a trash man, like
he's fully shameless. He doesn't care at all.
Yeah,
he's taking a bath in a Tim Hortons bathroom.
While shaming you.
While shaming me,
shaming you. Yeah, he got you. This guy sounds great.
I tried to match his shamelessness and it didn't work.
That's a growing, like an experience for growth for you. Like you can realize that the level of trash man that you thought you were at, there's another level. There's another level. Yeah.
He really picked me out of it.
He's something to aspire to. It's tough to see. Like it's kind of like Don't Meet Your Heroes, right? You just met one of your heroes, and now you're kind of like. The grass isn't always greener, huh? Like, maybe that's not...
Is that what being homeless is actually like? I thought it was, like, cool driving around in your car, meeting fun people, crashing on couches, No, it's like...
You'd absolutely be him. Imagine you were that homeless and you were in that washroom and somebody just, like... You would be like, brother! Like, you'd have a full Hulk Hogan mustache at that point. And you'd just be like, come on in, brother. And then, like, oh, I absolutely didn't flush this for you. Let me pee here, too.
And then I would pee with him, though. That's the difference. I'd be like, hey, man, just go between my legs. No problem.
Growth. That's growth.
Yeah.
You have to do better than the generation who came before you. You've just been exposed to the generation who came before you. You have to top that.
That's true. I'm the new homeless.
Yeah, you're going to be.
The millennial homeless.
That's what you have to look forward to, Aaron. Yeah.
Oh, what do I guess I got here?
What does this list say, man?
What does this list say?
Yeah, what does this
Online
list say?
dating, the Westmount crew, find a house, out of the dark start to the year, piano. I've been playing piano. I really enjoy it, actually. I had a lot more fun with piano than I found with guitar.
Oh,
and I feel like I pick it up easier, too. Like, I don't know. It's more like video gamey, honestly. Like, guitar is like a lot of motion, figuring out the chords and finger dexterity, whereas this is like, okay, I'm just like, thumb, middle finger, pinky.
Right.
And then it's just... You just do that a couple times and you have the rhythm down.
That's easier. Like that's an easier thing on guitar too, right? Like playing one note at a time.
Yeah, for sure. But then the chords just
and they're harder than they are on piano a lot of the time because you have many more fingers generally. Like it's in piano, you generally aren't going to start off playing 5 notes with one hand at one time.
Right.
But guitar, you learn a chord, and all of a sudden
you're already up to 3 fingers.
At least 3. Yeah, right. Like, so I can imagine like the learning curve there would be pretty off-putting, and also like it feels like the piano is naturally a lot more explorative. Like it makes a lot more intuitive sense than the way a guitar is.
I don't know. Like I never bothered to learn the notes on the guitar string.
Right.
So like I have to really think about. If I'm playing sheet music, I would never like actually read the note and be like, oh, I'm playing that note on the guitar.
Right.
It's just that note in that place is this finger position, rather than like a G chord. I don't know what the 3 notes are. If I really thought about it, I could, but
yeah, I mean, it's like imagine you had just like a piano and then another deck of piano and then another deck, but each of those decks, even though they operate the same, so each key moves up the same distance in terms of the note, but the difference between the decks are that you've just shifted the keys down a few, and that's like you have to remember that as an additional feature. That's much more complex, I think, than being able to see it just kind of linearly.
That C, just immediately looking at it.
Yeah, it's very obvious. Like the notes here are higher than the notes here, and that's like, and the notes in the middle, they're exactly in the they're in the middle of these two.
Yeah.
But then you deal with guitar strings, and like how far down do you go on a guitar string to get to the same like location? Like if you were to play that string open. That sort of knowledge you just don't have to have, and that's weird.
Yeah, it's way more intuitive, like reading the sheet music.
Cool.
And it's like immediately
tickling the ivories.
Yeah. Still reading the bass clef and treble clef is just a fucking brain twister.
That sounds,
That bass clef is more like guitar. I'm like, this is the finger I need to use to hit that note. But I'm not like, this is a C, this is a G.
Okay.
But if I sat down like with a pencil, I could easily like fill
like
in.
we did when we like
but
first
on the
learned,
fly,
It's,
and then mixing those 2 hands together is. You can nail it on the left, nail it on the right, and then you marry them.
Both fall apart.
And it's nothing.
Yeah. That's a great little learning curve.
But it's super fun, and like I feel like it's easier to find piano music
than guitar.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see like how it goes and further it goes.
That's sweet.
Be able to write my own stuff soon at some point would be a lot of fun. Get a podcast intro going.
Oh, that'd be
Chris
awesome,
has been playing the guitar a lot more now too, since we played it a few weeks ago.
Little
He's been learning.
Band
he wants to learn a song together.
Unreal.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be great.
And Chris blew me away with how he's already really good at guitar.
Because he's played guitar before.
Yeah.
It's like knocking off all the rust.
Yeah. We were like just busted up both the guitars when we were drinking 2 weeks ago or so. And I'm like, okay, I played guitar more recently than Chris. I'll probably be better than him. And he's just immediately like busting out full chords. He's like, oh, this is Blackbird. I'm like, I've been working on Blackbird for 3 months. And then I was drunk too, so like my brain, I could like tell Chris whatever chord to play, but my fingers were just
no way they're gonna be able to.
Yeah, I could play without mitts on, and it just wasn't working. But then it is cool seeing Chris be able to play it, and it's like I want to do that more. And then noodling on the piano also makes me want to play guitar more.
Oh the way the instruments can affect each other. Yeah, just like wanting to play music more as a general thing.
Yeah, I think I'm still at the phase though where like I'm not good enough. So like after a half hour of like just crunching through the same song over and over again, I'm burnt out on it.
Yeah, fair.
Whereas when I get better and I'm actually playing things fluidly, I could get lost in it
very easily. Easier. Yeah, you get in that flow state.
And then just like hearing a song like, oh, I want to go with music for this song. Let me learn how to play it. And then just be able to like go to a piano and hotel lobby and just rip it out.
Do that. Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
Yeah, develop a skill for that long.
Yeah, and then maybe learn how to sing next.
Oh shit.
And then really impress the ladies on Hinge.
Why not, man? Yeah, singing especially is something like you should work on it a little bit every day. Like anything, but especially get your vocal cords in a like position or in positions where they're like, we're moving a lot more. And we're moving in ways that are more consistent because a lot of it's like a muscle. Yeah. That you're able to control, right? So, and that you got to train that muscle.
Yeah, you can't just belt it out, which is why it always hurts when I sing.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you should warm up. Do some warm-ups.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
Like, I'm glad you love
I could never sing and play guitar, but I feel like I can even like talk through, like singing on piano is also easier on the brain, it feels like, because my hands are just moving this way. Okay. And I'm just replaying the pattern and I can just read the words rather than figuring like, oh, I gotta completely change my finger position for different chords, and it's...
Talking when you play is hard as heck.
It's so hard.
But just listening to anything else when you play is very difficult. Yeah. Right? Doing anything when you play music that involves not just you playing your instrument, like it's a lot of people struggle with listening to themselves. They're so focused on what they're doing, they're not really paying attention that deeply to the sound they're producing. And one of the things you teach people as they get a little bit more experience with music is like, now listen to the sound that you're creating though, and listen to what it sounds like on a guitar. If you were to move your finger a little bit further away from the fret, where a lot of the vibration is going to be set to, sort of. Yeah. So that experience is like, woof, good luck.
Yeah, it's incredibly tough. But like just watching people be really good at things and making it look easy, and like, fuck, I could do that. And then you just realize that the easier they make it look, they're just that much better than you.
Yeah.
It's like, that's actually, the easier it looks, the probably it's way harder than it actually is. And they've just done this for 20,000 hours.
Yeah. Seeing it like on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
People on autopilot, things that are just so impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool though. It does make you want to do more, because I don't think I'm great at anything. There's nothing I would like want to show off to people at.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I just start things. I'm like, okay, I can get past a beginner pretty quickly, and then I lose focus and move on to the next thing.
Sure. I imagine a lot of people have that sort of deal. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not convinced that that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Tons of people are going to be generalists.
Mm-hmm.
Not every single person can just be like single-minded and focus on one thing forever. A lot of people talk about like think about eating food.
Yeah. Okay.
We like a lot of the times if someone says
what
like
kind
I
of
eat
food
this
am I eating?
whatever.
Okay.
Imagine you eat the same thing every day though.
Mm.
Very quickly people would have reactions to that, like, well, that's like I don't know if I could do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't think like food is any different from like thinking of an activity that like, what if you just loved cooking, right? Like some people just only want to cook and that's all they want to do with their lives. Some people are just totally cool with eating the same food every day. Most people aren't. Most people are not cool with just doing the one thing. And if they only did that one thing, they'd be amazing at it.
Right.
That's not how I think most people are built. It's probably not best for humans just to be built like that. Like everybody does one thing extremely well and that's it. Like, nah, there's got to be some people who do that. And we turn to them to do that thing that they do really, really well. Most people need to have some idea about how a bunch of different things function.
Yeah.
Because someone's going to have to talk between two people who are super specialized. Because they're so down their own rabbit hole. They have no idea what the heck reality is like. You're going to need generalists to be able to be like, that's really cool. That's really cool. Put those two together. Like, hey guys, like you're so down your own rabbit holes, you can't put these together, but I kind of can. Like, and if I could just direct you two with your superior abilities to do something together, I think that's where generalists come in. And so, like, people always wanting to like, it'd be cool to be single-minded, to be great at one thing and only do that one thing. That's kind of like hoping to almost be someone different than who you are.
Yeah.
And maybe the way to deal with that is learn who you are and appreciate it. Yeah. No one is like you.
That's fair. That's fair. I also think there's got to be like a passion for it. Like, if you don't love it completely, you're not going to do it every single day.
How do you know you love something?
I think it's like the don't try philosophy. When you just like end up always doing this thing,
right?
I think that's a pretty good sign that no matter what you do, where your life goes, it always comes back to.
Right.
I always come back to the piano at the end of the day, no matter what.
Right.
I'm not like, okay, I got to sit down and play piano today. It's like, this is it's part of me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can.
I think being great at something also comes to like finding a passion for something would be super cool. Because I don't know if I have a deep passion for anything, because I've never felt that like super lost in things other than like video games where they're just addicting and pull you in like falsely, like Super Auto Pets.
Yeah, that's what a game.
It's a fantastic game. I had a great 3 days with it, and now I think I might get it on the computer though. I think that's a good move to like minimize, because I have to like sit up here rather than like I can't do it in my bed.
Okay. So you say like I'm gonna have access to a game.
Yeah.
I'll rather access it not on my phone because it's a phone game. You can also play it on computer though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd rather like.
I'd rather like computer? Yeah, that's like a limiting, and then like of course if I see it's still I'm just spending all the time in front of my computer, then I gotta uninstall it there
that's
too.
Fair. Yeah, that seems like that's I think one reasonable way to handle it. Yeah, you get too into a video game.
Yeah, but then sitting on your bed in your bed for 6 hours at night trying to get one win before you go to bed. And then before you know it, it's 5:30, so you're like, I'm just going to pull an all-nighter, so you go downstairs and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Then you're like, I got to do a podcast tomorrow. I cannot last till 5 p.m. on no sleep. And then,
So that was this morning?
That was this morning. And then I went to bed at like 6, woke up at 10. Really wanted to go back to sleep. I'm like, no, I got to get up.
Yeah, you can't let this whole night dictate the rest of you.
Yeah, I had to like punish myself.
Yeah, good for you.
Which the first time, I guess Sunday night, was the first time I downloaded it, and then I played it till like 3 in the morning, and then I woke up and was like, okay, I gotta punish myself. So I'm for a 5K run. And I was gonna go by myself, but then everyone else in the house was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go for a run too.
Okay.
So yeah, Chris and I ran one direction, Derek and Andrea ran the other. So like, you know that normal lap we walk?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
That's like 2.5K. Oh. So 2 laps. That was the goal. Under 30 minutes is what we wanted, and we did it in 28 minutes, Chris and I, which is
perfect.
Great. Yeah. Already under par. And then I went for a run the next day after, because I'm like, I'm crushing it, no problem. And I get to like the last strip, so I guess the corner right over there without saying the street name. I get onto our street, and I just start dry heaving. And then it's like a 5-minute walk back to the house, and I'm dry heaving the entire time. Just like, and then every time a car is coming by, I'm like, just don't puke in front of a car. Just don't puke when people can see you. And then that was when the worst dry heaves came, was when there's a car coming and thinking about not puking. You're trying to inhibit it, yeah. But luckily, it was like first thing in the morning, so there's nothing in my stomach. So I think there's just nothing that could come out.
Yeah.
My body's like, we have to puke, but there's nothing here. Let's try again. And it just tortured me. And this, of course, as soon as I got home, I was like, fine. It stopped. Whoa. It's like, we're good.
Whoa.
But
that's strange as heck.
Yeah, it was very weird. Yeah. I'd only ever seen Chris puke after exercising. I didn't think it happened to me.
Yeah, you've never puked after. Have you ever like felt nauseous from exercising someone?
Yeah, I have. Usually it's after like extremely strenuous. Yeah.
Which is maybe why it's surprising at the end of your like run in the next day.
Yeah, like it was the second run. I'd walked more on this run, but I think it's just the body was like not prepared for 2 days in a row of something we hadn't done in months.
Yeah. That's sweet that you guys were able to do that 2.5K and. Or like, was it 5K? Did you do?
I did 5K both times. Yeah.
So you did 5K in just under 30.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think it was 29 minutes the second day where I was puking.
That's wicked. Yeah.
We kept it. And then the other exercise, we did Muay Thai last week. We didn't get to Muay Thai this week. We did Muay Thai last week, and we get there, and there's like a guy was teaching a private session beforehand, one of the coaches.
Okay.
And then I guess he hopped in on our class just for like, he's there, he might as well do something. He's probably getting paid. And so I wanted to pair up with this guy when we're like sparring, so like he can probably give you some good tips.
Sure.
But he immediately like grabbed Chris. He's like, "Hey man, you want to partner up?" And so he took Chris. I'm like, "Oh shit, man, that sucks." And then I ended up fighting the girl that Chris fought last time, which sucked because she was just shorter than me. Like she was better at Muay Thai, but I'm punching down for everything. And when I'm gonna dodge her punch, I gotta get so much lower, and then trying to like knee her and like punch her in the belly, I'm like going way down. And it's super awkward, but it was fun because it's just boxing, and the kicking is what really exhausts you out. So I was having fun, like, doing the combos. It feels really satisfying, just, like, throwing them. And then watching the people in the ring, like tutorial it, it's crazy how fast they go.
Oh, man, yeah.
Like, no hesitation.
No.
It's insane. So, like, it's, like, 3 rounds of sparring after a pretty intense workout. And after the first round of sparring, Chris and I are, like, going, like, take our gloves off, get some water. Chris looks like he just came out of the pool. He is drenched in sweat. He's got nothing behind the eyes. He's just dead, holding on by a thread. And like, oh man, Chris doesn't look good. And so then we do 2 more rounds of sparring. And then at the very end of the 3rd round, I turn around and see Chris making a beeline to the garbage can in the middle of the gym floor and just ukes in front of everybody.
I'm sure they like that though. Like I'm sure they like a dude who's willing to work out until he pukes. Like I feel like that has to earn you respect, right? I don't know
I talked to Chris after it, and he's like, man, that coach was grinding me the whole time.
No kidding.
He's like, I guess, so first thing is gloves up. That's like the rule all the time. They say every mistake people have is they throw their combo, then they relax. And they're like, you can't do that, because in a fight, dude's going to swing on you. So anytime Chris put his gloves down, the guy would whack him in the head. So Chris just has no breaks. He's got to keep throwing punches. And then part of it, if you're holding the mitts, you would throw a jab that they'd have to dodge.
Oh.
And Chris's coach, like, I'm throwing it, like, to the person's ear, because I don't want to punch this girl in the face.
Yeah.
But the coach is like, no, you have to throw it right at my face,
he has to
and
dodge
I have to dodge it. Yeah. So Chris said he would, like, put his gloves down, stand still, and he'd be like, throw a punch. So Chris would, like, throw it and, like, stop it right in front of his face. And the guy's like, okay, good, that's right. And then Chris is like, oh, man, I'm going to clock this guy. And he said he would just throw a hard jab right at the guy's face, and he'd, like, teleport just instantly around his glove, and then finish the combo. And like Chris is like, he's wailing on the pads too. You're supposed to go little light, focus on the technique.
Yeah.
But Chris is like, holding pads is more of a workout because you got to punch back.
Right. You have to.
So you're not breaking your shoulders.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chris just died after that Muay Thai class.
Oh, I would too.
And then right after that was when we went out drinking.
Oh.
That was. Yeah, that was when we busted out the guitars that night. So,
okay.
Yeah, but he'd not have a good time.
He just finished puking from exercise.
Yeah.
Time to load up the belly with some booze,
and then, I don't even think he didn't even drink that much. He had like a protein shake. Then we went to Burger King after, which is why I went out. Because we had those Burger King coupons, and like, yes. And Chris didn't even eat his Burger King either.
Yeah,
I got his Burger King the next morning. It was great.
He's living near the shed right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but he loves Muay Thai. I hate the jump rope. The 5 minutes of jump rope at the start of Muay Thai makes me not want to go to Muay Thai.
Yeah,
I hate that. I like the sparring and stuff, but it's such a brutal workout.
Yeah, you don't like the Muay Thai for the sake of Muay Thai.
Yeah.
You like a slice of the Muay Thai, and they're like, if you like Muay Thai generally though, then all of that, like the exercise, the warm up.
Yeah, I think I'd rather like a smaller class, like 2 or 3 people and a coach, and then you work together, rather than like 15 people. You partner up. The coach is in the ring
and just
demonstrate. You're not even walking around.
Oh, right.
You're on your own.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, I don't really like that.
No,
I
having
want
someone
more like direct. What am I doing right? How can I
you'd
improve?
want someone to walk around and be like.
It's just if my partner points out something who's like a little more skilled than me. That's like all I'm going
That's
off
the
of.
improvement you got now.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, we're definitely like the bottom of the class. Everyone that's in there is like been going for weeks to months, and like they'll know each other. So it is, trying to break into that camaraderie. But also being the worst fighters there.
Chris will forever be the guy who puked. Like they'll no matter how much more you interact with them, they'll probably always have that story of Chris.
Oh yeah, we're at the very end of class. Chris is done puking. We're like, drinking some water, sitting on the ring, and one of the guys comes in and goes, "Still got puke in your beard, bro." And Chris is like, "Oh man," head down, runs to the bathroom.
Oh no, see they like that's I think I swear I would bet you a lot of the guys respect that.
Oh, I think they're fine with it. Yeah. They're all like, "Were you sparring with Steven today or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, he does that."
Yeah, he would like to do that to people.
He grinds you down.
I assume that's what he would want from
Yeah.
He probably selected Chris with the intention of seeing if he could get him to that state.
I think
so.
And
I think you get a lot of respect for being like showing that you're willing to go to that state.
Yeah.
And Chris doesn't have to reveal that he might get to that state a little quicker than other people.
Yeah, Chris said he was like warning him, like, "I'm going to puke. If we keep going, I'm going to puke." He's like, "Yeah, you're probably fine though. Keep going."
Keep going. He probably knows.
And then Chris puked. He goes, "Oh, he was telling the truth."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." I wasn't even surprised seeing Chris. I heard vomit. I was like, "It's Chris."
Yeah, of course. Knowing him. Yeah.
The man probably lost like 40 pounds. Just fluids in that class though. He was drenched.
He's a leaker. It's awesome.
And then he drove us home, and he had no mental focus. I had to point out every single turn, everything. He's all around the road.
Wow,
could not get it together. When we were driving the bar, he just drove through a clear red light. We were like behind a bus the whole time, and the bus went, and then Chris
just went with the bus
is going.
Yeah,
he's going.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Chris, that was a hard red, at King and University."
Oh, that's a big
busy intersection. But you recover though. We're gonna go back next week. We didn't get out there this week. So next week's gonna be even harder because you didn't have had like.
Oh yeah, and you're going. So you told me you're not going to the beginner class. There is a beginner class, and that's not the one you guys are going.
So we've heard there's a 4 to 5 class that we go to that's like 12 to 15 people.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a 6:30 to 7:30 class that we saw the first time, and there was like 35 people in there, which I think that's like it's a more accessible time. I think after work, a lot of people are going, and then bigger classes less focus on you individually.
Right. I feel like that'd be a hot room.
It's very hot in there. Incredibly hot.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
you're all exercising.
There's one big fan going, and then like nothing. It's a warehouse essentially with padded floors.
What does it smell like too?
Nah, it doesn't smell good. The floor wherever you walk is wet. You're just walking through other people's sweat the whole time.
Yeah, that's.
I'm like my wart foot is just getting soaked in other people's sweat. People are gonna get warts, I'm sure.
Oh brother, jeez. I would not survive. I would not. I'm absolutely just a weak man. Like there's no chance I would do well in war. I've come to accept that.
Yeah.
Because that I do know I'm not gonna put myself in a position where I'm doing that. Like no, thank you. That sounds awful.
Yeah, it is an experience of walking into a room and being like, every person here could kill me.
Fair.
Like you can't. If someone talks shit to me, I have to just take it. Like there's nothing I could do.
That's fair.
You could dominate me.
That's fair. Yeah.
So yeah, it's humbling.
Yeah.
It's humbling. And it's people like that don't look necessarily like they'd be good at Muay Thai.
Okay. They're not just like jacked, muscular dudes.
No, there's like
thin
really thin, lanky dudes, or even just like bigger dudes that just like
they can move.
Yeah, and fight like I thought I had good cardio, but fighting cardio is whole other ball game. Going for like full tilt for 5 minutes, rest for 1 minute, full tilt again. Like, and I think that's really what they're trying to train too. Because there's a lot of the punching and kicking stuff is maybe like 30 minutes of the class. The rest of it is all like cardio, push-ups, sit-ups. Like just building your abs so you can just take a punch.
Yeah. I mean, we're not a species meant for sustained fighting.
No.
That's like very clearly not what we're meant to do. It's we're like a one-shot kill kind of people. Like typically in a group, like we're trying to just hunt you down and get you like expend all of your energy to kill this person and not have to do like a long sustained sort of. We can win the cardio race pretty well though against most other animals. I think. Like, I think that's we might not beat a cheetah in speed. We'll outrun them if we get enough of a
catch
distance.
It after.
But we're a group hunting, like capitalize on the opportunity and call it a day. Like we're not trying to like. Outlast all of our fucking opponents. So like that would be a pretty natural thing. Like you move fighting now, you're lasting. Like, good luck surviving that many rounds. Like, no chance.
Yeah, it's incredibly tough. So I got more respect for people through it, but hopefully we can get more consistent. We've never had a 2-day Muay Thai week. Every time we do Tuesday, and then Thursday rolls around, it's like, I don't know, man.
Good for you for getting back on the Tuesdays, because that, like, if I was already saying no on the Thursdays or something, if Tuesday came around, I'd be like, I just said no on the Thursday. Like, why am I going to say no, like yes on this Tuesday?
Yeah.
Like, I would have ditched it.
I mean, they have been free. We haven't paid for a class yet. You get free nice. Classes, so it is kind of cool. You just walk in and do it.
What is the cost?
So I think what we're gonna sign up for is a 6-month term, and you pay, I think it's like $110 a month. Okay. And you can just show up whenever you want. Okay. Unlimited classes. Cool. So if you want to go 5 times a week, you can.
Yeah, you just can. Yeah.
And and then like if you get a year term, they shave off like $10 a month or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's very affordable.
Yeah.
And like we talked to them, like what they said was like, we're not interested in making money. Like we want to make this open, accessible to as many people as possible. So
cool.
It's cool. Yeah, it's fun. We'll be in great shape if we're doing it every single week. We'll be
with the Westmount.
Yeah, with Westmount, yoga, and then side workouts we've been doing too with the kettlebells and the mace. Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been a healthy year, but then also the appetite just goes way up when you're burning all the extra calories. And you're just starving. But we've been good at not ordering too often. Yeah. It's more the drinking is the high calories. Because I'd rather do beer because the shots just too dicey. You never know when that shot's going to hit. You never know when to take that next shot. I know how many beers I can
I happen to remember a past Aaron who knew exactly when he was going to be taking the shots because he would put a timer on his phone. Timer. Yeah, 20 minutes, that's a generous 20. Like, you were at 15 at one point, taking 4 shots an hour. Yeah. Yeah, where at least you knew when you were reading up your next shot because it was dictated to you by your shot timer.
Yeah, and then after 4 or 5 shots, so the timer's out the window.
It's gone. You're just drinking straight from the bottle. Yeah.
No, keep the booze separate from where you're hanging out. You cannot have access.
Honestly, setting that rule of it must go into another container.
Yeah, that's a good rule.
That's a very good rule.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else on here.
Well, I was gonna say, it was 40. Holy cow! Yeah, no. So I was thinking in my head, it's 25 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Do you want a vacation and then come back, hit a second segment? We could 45 vacation, come back, hit a closing 10.
Yeah, I'm down
for the people.
I'm down for that.
Excellent. A little musical interlude.
I don't know if I have the files for that still.
So you're gonna wait. I'll send them. You're gonna cut right.
Musical interlude.
We're back.
We're back.
Final closing, and I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Yeah, I will. I actually wanted to take it over from you. I didn't really want you to turn it over.
I already handed it to you though.
Yeah, I know.
You can't take it if you already have it.
Damn, yeah. Well, now that I have the reins, I figure maybe it's my time to ask some questions to you.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've been wondering is how you found your return to alcohol.
Yeah.
This podcast.
Yeah.
Aaron Air Out. So it really started with like Aaron and alcohol and a way to sort of get out what you were feeling about your life. And a larger portion of that was like what alcohol had led you to.
Yeah.
So you've returned to drinking.
Yeah.
Since you've returned, it's been close to 2 months now?
Yeah, I guess New Year's Eve was the first time.
Month and a half?
8 on the 500 days.
So how have you found it since then?
My first hesitations was not how it would affect me. It's what's everyone else going to think. Okay. I was like the social pressure from everyone. I'm like, man, 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, I was like, man, I'm an alcoholic. I can't drink. I'm done with it. And then to flip back on it, I'm sure everyone's going to be like, oh, that's a bad decision. Right. Rightfully so. But, like, the first night was New Year's Eve. Great environment, like, good vibes. I was drinking on, like, good terms with people I trust and I'm safe with. Right. And that night went great. Like, I had no problems with it. Had a good time, paced myself well. When I, like, felt I was getting too drunk, just stopped drinking so I could, like, maintain throughout the night. And then going forward, it's been just, like, only drinking for, like, those good occasions and, like, when it's a celebration. I think the problem before was I'd get depressed, and then I'm like, oh, man, I feel like shit. I'm going to drink so I can feel better. And then it's just the feedback loop of drinking a depressant to get out of your depression, feeds into more depression, you want to drink more. So now I find, like, after drinking, you wake up, you're, like, a little anxiety, like, you don't feel great, your brain's kind of, like, fuzzy and all over the place. I'm like, the last thing I want right now is to drink, because I know that's not going to help. Right. And it's, like, there's no cravings. There's no cravings to drink. I think Derek gets me to drink more than anything. So Derek's like, hey, you want to have some drinks today? I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun, hanging out with Derek, we'll bond a little bit. But nothing like, I have to drink. There's plenty of alcohol in the house that I could easily, like, just grab it, come upstairs, and just fall right back to the routine. Yeah. But I don't want that at all. Right. So yeah, it's been I've been enjoying it. Yeah. Like the feeling of being buzzed and like it's a good feeling. It can be a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And then, but feel like I have more control. I'm in a different place in my life. I'm in like a better mindset, better headspace. I got, I'm doing things I enjoy doing, whereas before I was like doing things I felt like I had to do.
Right.
And it just was not mixing well with me.
Right.
So yeah, I'd say so far it's going well. And I'm always just keeping an eye on it. If I see it's like ramping up too much, I know I'm pretty good at pulling the plugs on things.
Okay. Yeah. So would you say like your experience with alcohol now is different for two reasons? One, you've changed as a person, so you've developed more than say when you started to drink and when you really got into drinking. You're a different person, you've matured, but also your life is in a different set of circumstances.
Yeah.
And that say your life at the time was giving you additional motivation to drink, and that's the kind of drinking you really don't want to be doing.
Yeah, because I was drinking to get away from my life and myself, whereas now I'm like, I'm totally cool with myself. I enjoy being sober, Aaron. I enjoy talking to people sober.
Right.
And, like, there's things I want to do, and that if I'm drunk, I can't do them. And then, like, now, like, the downside drinking is just this next day. It's just so much slower.
That's terrible.
But I've been good at still doing yoga, still going for walks, still, like...
So the things you want to be holding on to in your life.
And, like, you gotta still do these things. And then it makes the hangovers way... You go for a nice walk when you're feeling hungover, just, like, the hangover is much smaller after that.
Right.
Like, Wednesday, it was, like, 16 degrees out when I went for a walk. It was sunny. It was beautiful. I had a great time. Then came back and then saw, like, Chris and Derek were, like, dead, tired.
Zombies, sure.
Zombies, yeah. And I'm like, I feel fantastic.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, too, to walk into a house. People feel like zombies.
Yeah.
You're feeling like, I would be in that state, but I feel pretty good. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been great so far. But like I said, just it's something you got to keep an eye on because it can slip away fast. But I think if I keep the rest of my life in order, the drinking is something that's very manageable.
Right. It's
easy.
the interaction between it's drinking, but it's drinking when you're in the wrong time in your life. And it's being careful about making sure, is this the right or wrong time to be drinking?
Like, even when I was an alcoholic, it was never like I'm drinking every single day. I have to have alcohol.
Yeah.
It was like weekends where I'm not going to work. I don't have something to fill my time. That's when I want to drink. So I'm trying to get away and like distract myself. Whereas now on weekends, like we're usually doing shit all throughout the day.
Yep.
Then it's at the end of the day, we decide, okay, do we want to have a drink or not? And that's like usually one day on the weekend because you do more than one, and it's just my body can't handle it. And that's
not like we used to. Huh?
Yeah, you can't bounce back.
Yeah. So overall, feeling pretty positive about where your relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
And if you're worried about it, you're going to be probably pulling the trigger on it or pulling the plug on it.
Yeah, I think the real test will be moving with Will and Derek.
Right.
We both enjoy the beers, playing video games, and that could creep in for all of us. I feel like but I think we'd all also be able to like have a discussion like, hey, this is getting too far.
Nobody wants this.
Yeah.
Let's get out of that.
Like I think especially Will would be on the same side, being like an older guy too. Derek can kind of bounce back.
I mean,
easier than us.
When we were that age.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in alcoholism, right? Like,
yeah. But I think it'll be good. It'll be good. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, very good.
And like having some casual drinks with people, it's just it's an enjoyable time. Because there was some missing out when I wasn't drinking, and everyone else is like, get into that lively, energetic state, and I'm like, I'm still just at baseline, so it's hard to keep up conversations and energy levels when
you don't drink. It's difficult to hang out with people who do.
Yeah. And then they get to a point where it's like I can't even communicate with you guys.
No,
anymore.
you have to be drunk enough to communicate.
Drunk,
with people that drunk. Yeah.
But then also seeing that as like, man, when you get really drunk, it's not cool.
It's pretty ugly.
It looks pretty ugly. Stupid. So I don't want to get to that level.
No. Yeah, I stay fairly far away from alcohol now for a few reasons. And that's one of them. I just don't like, because I don't, alcohol removes any ability I have to control drinking, the ability, like not drinking so much alcohol, right? It's very good at it being its own poison for that.
Yeah.
And so very easily you can go off the rails, and like I just don't want to be that person. Like I don't like myself when I've had that much booze. Like I just don't want to hit that. So an easy way not to hit that is just like just don't drink, or drink very rarely, and be mindful of yourself.
But I think I still could see a point in my future where I stop drinking purely just for like health benefits. Like alcohol is just not good for you in any way.
Sure, but it's not necessarily harmful.
Yeah.
Most things in moderation are probably not going to be that harmful to you.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think like, if you strike a balance with anything, you can probably keep it in your life.
A couple drinks a week and
but it's a question of how worth it is to you. Like is a couple drinks worth it? And for me it's not. For me, a couple drinks not going to do that much.
Yeah, never casuals.
Yeah,
it'd be like I guess maybe a couple days a month.
Yeah, right. Where you get drunk.
We set aside I'm going to drink this day and then get it out of my system.
Yeah, sure.
And then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I haven't missed it too much. I also don't like get into a bunch of social situations where people are drinking.
Right.
I don't hang out with people when they're drinking often, and I'm not.
Right.
So, and like but I have been in some experiences like that. I don't tend to enjoy it. Like it's not really where I like to be. I don't want to be the guy who's sober and everyone else is drunk. I'm not gonna have that much fun.
Yeah.
So for me, that temptation isn't there, and so yeah, my life is just like moved further and further away from drinking.
Yeah, just like aging wise, like most of the people we hang out with don't drink
not as much.
Very frequently, but then like you get the young 20s people, like the people at work, people like Derek, when they're still in like that fun party stage of their life. You can
dive into that,
and then I can kind of dip back in. So that'll be another place where I gotta watch it, but also I'm be like, these kids can't fucking hang.
Yeah, you have to be able to show them up while also being like the ultimate is to show self-control. Though. Yeah, maybe that's got to be the ultimate.
Maybe I drink this much and I'm still full conversations, not slurring. I'm fine. You are lost. Yeah. Like, I want to be the guy at work the day after drinking where I'm feeling fine and they're all zombies.
That is just alcoholism. Yeah. Though. Like, the dude who is totally fine after drinking that much, that's like, I don't want to be that guy. Because that means I've fucked myself up enough. But that's like, I can do that now, you know? I still don't like that I have apparently a very high tolerance for alcohol.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't seem to have gone that much. It seems to hold on. It seems to, at least like for it to disappear, it's probably going to take a long time. Yeah. It seems like you really can permanently alter your tolerance to some degree, I wonder. Yeah. Yeah, but that sucks for me because I don't drink that much. I was really hoping that I could get drunk pretty quickly off of a couple of drinks. I still can't. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, it sucks because then you're just like the calories at that point. I'm more thinking about the calories than the alcohol going in. Yeah. Like a shot's like almost 200 calories, I feel like.
Any beer is 200. Your shots are going to be 100. Yeah. 70 if you're drinking like whiskey, and that's maybe the lean. Vodka and whiskey are going to be the leanest that you can get generally. Yeah. And you're looking at still like 7 because alcohol's calorically dense. Yeah. Yeah.
And then pissing 1,000 times a night. I don't miss that. Weed, on the other hand, though, I've completely lost like my drive for weed. Honestly, I don't have any cravings for it. The only time I like to smoke weed is like right before bed. Like, if I know I'm gonna go to bed, I'm just gonna go up and like crawl into bed and watch something on my phone. I'm totally fine smoking weed. 'Cause I'm like, this is not changing my life. Yeah, it's whatsoever. A real wind down. It's when you smoke weed at 2 p.m. and like, I guess I have a few more things to do. I'll get a little high, and then you do nothing, and like I don't like.
Goes your day. Yeah. But,
like even the feeling of getting high, I don't really miss that.
Yeah, you just moved away from it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's really helpful. Yeah, because being able to drop weed and say like maybe even trading it for alcohol, but trading it nowhere near the frequency.
Yeah, I mean I traded it for nicotine. I feel like at this point,
probably a good trade to me.
I think it's a safe one. I think it's a safe one. Nicotine doesn't inhibit me in any way. It's more just a reliance on always the cravings. After a couple days, like man. My brain's just like focused on this one thing. Like, that hit would be really good. That'd be a really good head rush for 30 seconds.
Yeah, then just gonna crash in like an hour. Yeah. Or something. Well, you could just take another hit and get right back up. Yeah, exactly. Well, Aaron, I think.
Did we do it?
I think I have successfully fulfilled my hosting obligations.
You did.
I successfully took the reins from you, and now I will give them back to you to close.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'd like to thank Ethan for coming back on the podcast.
I gotta thank you.
I don't even know what to say. This is Thursday night. I don't know when I could edit this and get it out. I'd have to come back from work, edit it right away in the morning, and then go to sleep, which is a possibility. Yeah. And then I'd like to get it on. If you put them up on the weekends, no one really listens to them.
It's not a good time.
But even Friday at noon, I feel like it's not a great time.
I think you could give it in the morning. Yeah. A week listen is probably better too, like a weekday. Yeah. It's probably more of a podcast time than weekends. Yeah. Maybe I don't know how people listen to podcasts. I listen to them walking during weekdays.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I want to get back to doing getting them out on Mondays. Feels like a good time that people have the entire week. Yeah. At some point they can fit it in. But
maybe we're gonna do more of this. Yeah. We're gonna try to make this. I'm gonna be on here more often.
Yeah, and then I'll prepare more things and do more research.
So watch where this podcast is gonna grow, huh?
I also want to try streaming the podcast too.
Right. Yeah.
And then having people in the chat can also chime in on stories, and I would just drag it out. I mean, everything I talked about, I would have talked about for maybe 25 minutes by myself, and we're already at over an hour.
Yeah, so thank you to the listeners
chiming in. It'd be one topic.
Yeah, you could absolutely have one conversation go for that long. Who knows what that would turn into? If people would want that, if it would be entertaining. True. We'll find out. We're just
true, and also I don't know if people want to listen to the podcast live, and then they lose it. They can't go listen to it at work. They've
and it could change the dynamic of the podcast itself. Yeah. So your listening experience of something that was recorded live is different than something that was recorded as it's meant to be listened to immediately on demand on playback.
But then it could be I guess monthly live streams would be a cool way to do that. People can look forward to it.
Every a once a month live podcast. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
lots of ideas. So hopefully the podcast is back in full form now. Is this 2 or 3 weeks in a row now? I don't know.
3 maybe.
I think maybe 3 weeks in a row, which is good. I don't know the last time I've done 3 weeks in a row. It'd fallen off a while, but thanks for listening as always, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate and love you.
Yes.
And we'll be back next week with hopefully an informative podcast and not just me talking about myself the whole time.
They're always informative.
We'll have
look at this. Look at this.
And Aaron out.
Aaron out. Huh?
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Now take what you learned and have a great day. Damn, it feels good to air out.